take out. Well, he's looking at the binoculars. There we go. Now these are chaff grenades. You can actually use these to block the vision of the security cameras. But there aren't any yet, so right now we don't really need it. Now in the demo you can actually go through into the tanker through this door, and you can do so here in normal. But in hard mode this door is actually locked, so you have to go to the door at the left side of the tanker. Just letting you know. Now here's something I've always wondered about. Look at this lifeboat says. To rescue 23 persons. You're really telling me that 23 people will fit into this rinky-dink lifeboat? Look at it. Snake is almost as wide as the lifeboat itself. How the hell are you gonna fit 23 people into this lifeboat? I've never gotten that. That must be one cramped lifeboat.
Snake, go through that door into the ship's interior. Push the action button down in front of the door and wait until the door opens before letting go. If you need to open the door faster, hit the action button repeatedly while you turn the handle. Make sure you keep doing it until the door's open.
The one thing I actually don't like a lot about the Metal Gear Solid series is the way the voice actors you. I prefer the Soul Weaver method, where they just put it up on the screen and you do it. It kinda takes you out of the game a little bit. So I try not to answer those messages. Now, contrary to what Otacon says, the track gun does not last for hours. It lasts only for a few minutes, depending on the level of difficulty, so you'll want to get out of there before those sentries regain consciousness. Alright, we've gotten everything to get on the outside of the ship, so let's go inside. Here's a nice little detail from the demo that a lot of people liked. Watch what happens when you try to open this door. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that door. It was broken when... Now, one thing you don't want to linger outside too much. Snake can and will catch a cold in the rain if you let him out there for too long. And unlike the first game, I don't think there's any cold medicine in this part of the game, at least on the tanker. So you're pretty much stuck with it. Take it from someone who knows, because of severe allergies, a sneezing fit can and will prevent you from doing any type of work. And in Snake's case, it'll get him caught by the enemy soldier, so you do not want to let him catch a cold from that rain. This is a nice little detail too that they left in here. Let's take a picture of that. We're gonna send it to Otacon when it's time to send the pictures. extinguishers, you can actually use these against the enemies, but it's mainly useful when you're in alert mode. Otherwise, you can just take them out with stealth. Don't want to go that way yet. Now, a lot of the things in this game are stuff that Kojima wanted to do in the first Metal Gear Solid, but he couldn't because of the PS1's limitations. Like this right here, you can stop this guy in a locker, and he'll effectively stay tranquilized as long as you leave him in there. This is something that Kojima actually wanted to do in the first Metal Gear Solid, but he couldn't, so they added it to the second game. One thing I didn't really notice about this game until someone pointed it out on the message boards way back in 2001, in that this is actually Snake's original suit from Metal Gear Solid 1, minus the little vest that protected him in the cold. I actually thought it was a different suit at first, but no, it's just the same suit, only stripped down from, I guess, that bulletproof vest he had on. It's a nice little detail for consistency that he actually kept the suit. Yeah, this is one of my favorite areas in the tanker. A lot of stuff to mess with here. Here's some nice magazines. Watch what happens when you shoot one particular one. Yep, it's a Playboy magazine apparently, or Hustler, or some other type of porn magazine. You just knew Kojima would include something like that in there. Now keep in mind there's also one more guy downstairs here. You should probably take him out too so that none of the noises alert him. You don't want to go down there though, because what you don't see is that there's actually mosquitoes down there. And if you go down there and disturb them, they will follow you until you exit the room.
Look at the TV over there. It's showing the hold.
So that's...
The new Metal Gear.
Why are they broadcasting this?
They probably want to keep a record of this exercise. And maybe give a little presentation?
Presentation?
That ship's been transmitting a live video feed via military satellite uplink for a while now.
So there's some brass out there smacking their lips over this little home movie.
I've been trying to pinpoint the receiving location, but I haven't had much luck. There's a heavy-duty firewall in the way. I'll try some more, though.
Wherever it is, it must be a warm, dry office with hot coffee on tap.
Far cry from that tanker, huh? That's what happens when the battlefield has a revolution in military affairs.
I actually like the line from the demo better in this case, where instead of that whole revolution in military affairs, he actually said when the battlefield enters the information age. Which implies to me what happens when generals and soldiers start getting in their surroundings. I just found it fit better with the theme of this room and the game itself, but oh well. Now this, believe it or not, in the demo actually used to be a picture of the Twin Towers. You can see obviously why that was taken out. Technically, you're not supposed to make any noise here, and a professional spy or agent like Snake would get out of here without disturbing a thing and leaving no trace of his presence, but we're gonna mess with them anyway. The Marines are not supposed to be drinking on the job, so we are gonna break all these rum and whiskey and alcohol bottles. Here's another fun little detail. If you shoot the container of ice here, and you actually zoom in, to the ice cubes here, even in the PS2, these are actual ice cubes melting. Now that's attention to detail right there. Let's shoot a couple more. We're actually not going to need that much ammo for this part of the game, so feel free to waste some just screwing around with the items in this place. And this is where you'll have to go down there eventually, but for now we're going back up to the second floor of the tanker. You know, we've gotten so used to... Oh, wait a minute.
Who's there?
Come on. Gotcha. As I was saying, we've gotten so used to the lighting effects in games and realistic shadows. It's hard to believe, but that effect right there with the shadows was actually an impressive one back in 2001. You couldn't really do realistic shadows like that on the PlayStation 1 or even the N64. It's amazing this game came out in 2001, but it still looks pretty damn good. One thing you can do, you can actually shoot the steam pipes over here and use them against the enemies. But obviously that's going to give away that you're there, so... this series in particular is that Kojima spends too much time on cutscenes and there's not enough gameplay. So we're going to wrench as much gameplay out of this game as possible to balance that out. Personally, I've never minded that, because that's exactly what I liked about Metal Gear Solid in the first place, that it was like a movie. Especially with the first one, it was different from what any other game was doing at the time. You know, games weren't really telling stories in that way until Metal Gear Solid started it. So a lot of people complain about the cutscenes. Oh, they're too lengthy, there's too many of them, there's not enough gameplay, so we are gonna get every bit of gameplay out of this game possible. Which means we are gonna screw around with everything we can. You can't take this out. You can't take out this camera yet, so just slide right by it. There you go. I don't really use the rations because I try not to get Snake injured at all. But they're nice to have because if you have them equipped automatically when you're hit and your life goes down to 0, you will actually be prevented from dying. So that's a useful thing to have. As long as we're here, we might as well save the game.
Do you want to save, Snake? Snake, you of course know the saying, one for all for one?
What is this all of a sudden?
Oh, I figured you'd need a lot of motivation, so I came prepared. It's from the Three Musketeers. The book, not the candy bar. Anyway, it means that if you go up against everyone by yourself, they'll gang up on you too, I think. Since you're on your own on that ship, you need to take this to heart and avoid confrontations. How was that? Just like the old days, huh?
Almost reminds me of Mei Ling. But you sure you got it right?
Of course. And I'll teach you a lot more of these. You can count on it.
Great.
That's actually a nice little touch that they added. If you call Out Kong enough times to save, you will get a scene in which Mei Ling basically verbally kicks his ass for mangling all those quotes. It's a nice little scene to have, but we're not going to do it in this playthrough because it takes a hell of a lot of saving to get that little message. Is it worth it? Kind of. But nah, we're not going to do it. I'm just letting you know that it does exist, and Mei Ling does make a cameo here.